We've been friends forever, for 25 years.
Yes.
Before I had my kids, we were just buddies, like nothing like romance from friendship.
Okay, so let's talk about something that has people feeling a mix of shock, sadness, and honestly, a little bit of disbelief. Because when news started circulating that Birdman had allegedly confirmed a connection with Kimora, it didn't just spark gossip, it hit a nerve. And the reason it hit so hard is because of one person, Toni Braxton. Now, Toni isn't just any celebrity. She's someone people have rooted for, someone whose life has been filled with incredible success and very public struggles. So when reports started coming out that she was deeply emotional, some even saying she broke down, it made the situation feel a lot more real. This wasn't just messy celebrity drama anymore. This felt personal. And what makes it even more intense is the timing. Because from the outside, it looked like Toni and Birdman had finally found some kind of stability after years of ups and downs. People thought they had figured it out. People thought they had made it work. But just when it seemed like things were calm, everything started unraveling.
Miss Kimora, Lisa.
Russell's own wife, right?
Back to the family, but back to the family.
The baby was beating that. Go ahead, finish the story. Finish the story.
Say word.
Finish the story.
Again. But here's the twist. This story didn't start here, not even close. To really understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to go back and look at everything that led up to it. And trust me, once you see the full picture, it becomes a lot harder to look at this situation as just another piece of celebrity gossip. Because underneath all of this, there's history, there's emotion, and there's a kind of heartbreak that you can't just brush off. Toni Braxton's journey has never been simple. From the very beginning, her life has been a mix of extraordinary highs and painful lows. She rose to fame with a voice that could literally make you feel every word she sang. Songs about love, heartbreak, longing. They weren't just performances. They felt real because they came from somewhere real. But behind that success, Toni carried a lot. Financial struggles, health battles, family responsibilities. She's been through things that would break a lot of people. And yet, she kept going. She kept showing up, smiling, performing, giving the world music even when her personal life felt like it was falling apart. So when Birdman came into her life, it wasn't just another relationship, it felt like something deeper.
The two tied the knot and seemingly split just 48 hours later last year. The pair apparently agreed to call off the divorce in January.
We've been friends forever, for 25 years.
Yes.
Before I had my kids, we were just buddies, like nothing like romance from friendship.
And by the way, you all do a great job of kind of keeping it out.
Well, we didn't want people to know.
Why not?
Because of what happened. Yeah.
But if people know, then they don't make up those stories.
But if they don't know, it's nothing to talk about. You get to live your life a little, freer. I am the happiest I've been in a long time.
She happy. I ain't got money, because I'm going to make sure that.
I introduced Toni to her husband. Then he started speaking to me about my sister. I was like, my sister Mary, please go sit down somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so when Toni got a divorce, he was serious about her and, made his way in.
They had known each other for years before anything romantic happened. There was a friendship there first, a foundation that made people believe this was different. When they finally got together, it wasn't loud or flashy. It was more low-key, almost private in a way that felt intentional. And for Toni, that probably felt safe. After everything she had been through, having someone who already knew her, who understood her, must have felt like a kind of peace she hadn't experienced in a long time. And fans noticed that. They saw the way she talked about him, the way she smiled when his name came up. It wasn't forced, it wasn't for cameras. It felt genuine. That's why people were rooting for them so hard. Because it looked like Toni had finally found someone who wasn't just part of the chaos, but someone who helped quiet it. But relationships, especially ones with complicated histories, don't always stay simple. And in this case, things were never as smooth as they seemed on the surface.
Yeah, we've been like besties for a long time.
People always say that. But
No, this is real. Like, no cross the line.
besties, like you always kept in touch and you always talked.
We would keep in touch. He would come see me when I had my plays. When I had my baby shower, he would come. Like, we were really friends. He's a gentleman. He's such a gentleman.
Is he?
What?
I could see that.
Opening doors, and he's just a gentleman. People don't know 2016 November, when I was on tour October, I was really sick. I don't mean kind of sick. I mean like really,
From
really
lupus?
sick.
Or
I had a
from-
really
okay.
bad flare, and I was on tour. And every day I was on tour, he was there with me. And on my off days, he would go and take care of his business, but he would follow me on the bus and just make sure I was okay. And I don't know if you've ever been really, really sick in your life and you feel kind of hopeless and you got somebody who's a friend that's there. That's kind of, it
means
just
a
made
lot.
me see him differently.
There were rumors, there were whispers, there were moments where things didn't quite add up. And even though nothing was fully confirmed at the time, people started to wonder if everything behind the scenes was as solid as it appeared. Still, Toni stayed. Through the ups and downs, through the speculation, through the uncertainty, she stayed. And that says a lot, because people don't hold on like that unless there's something real keeping them there. But sometimes, what keeps you holding on is also the very thing that ends up hurting you the most. And that brings us to where everything started to shift in a way nobody could ignore. Because when Birdman's alleged connection with Kimora started making headlines, it wasn't just the rumor itself that shook people, it was the pattern it seemed to confirm. Now, Kimora is no stranger to high-profile relationships. She's someone who's been in the spotlight for years, and her name carries weight in its own right. So the moment her name got tied into this situation, it instantly elevated everything. At first, people weren't sure what to believe. Social media did what it always does, speculated, debated, pulled apart timelines. Some people dismissed it as just another rumor. Others started connecting dots from the past. And then came the part that really changed the tone of the conversation. Because reports began to suggest that Birdman himself had, in some way, acknowledged or confirmed the connection. And whether that confirmation was direct or indirect, it was enough to send everything into overdrive. But here's where it gets heavy. Because while the internet was busy trying to figure out the details, the focus shifted to Toni, and not in a casual way. People started asking, how is she handling this? What does this mean for her? And that's when the emotional side of the story started coming out. Sources began to claim that Toni was deeply affected by everything that was happening, that she wasn't just brushing it off or ignoring it, but that it actually hit her in a very real, very painful way. Some even said she broke down. Now, whether every detail is accurate or not, the reaction itself made sense. Because if you look at everything she's invested into that relationship, everything she's been through with him, everything she's chosen to stay through, this kind of situation would shake anyone. Imagine standing by someone for years of uncertainty, believing that things have finally settled, only to be faced with something that makes you question everything all over again. That kind of emotional whiplash, it's exhausting. And what nobody expected was how quickly the narrative shifted from speculation to sympathy. People weren't just talking about the drama anymore, they were talking about Toni, about what she deserved, about whether she had been holding on to something that wasn't giving her the same energy back. And that's where the conversation got complicated. Because on one hand, there were people saying she should walk away, that she's too strong, too accomplished, too deserving to keep dealing with situations like this. But on the other hand, there were people who understood why she might not. Because leaving isn't always as simple as people make it sound, especially when history, emotion, and comfort are all tied together. Sometimes the hardest relationships to walk away from are the ones that feel familiar, the ones that have been part of your life for so long that the idea of starting over feels heavier than staying. And for Toni, that might be part of the reality she's facing. Because this isn't just about betrayal or rumors, it's about everything that relationship represents to her. The years, the memories, the moments that made her believe in it. So when something like this happens, it's not just a headline, it's a crack in something she spent years trying to build. And emotionally, that's not something you just move past overnight. What makes this even intense is how public it all is. Because it's one thing to deal with relationship issues privately, but when the whole world is watching, analyzing, and forming opinions, it adds another layer of pressure. Every reaction gets magnified, every decision gets judged. And for someone like Toni, who has already lived so much of her life in the public eye, this kind of situation can feel overwhelming. Because no matter what she does, stay, leave, speak out, stay silent, people are going to have something to say. But at the end of the day, the real question isn't what the public thinks, it's what Toni feels. And from everything that's been said, everything that's been hinted at, everything that people have observed, it's clear that this situation has affected her deeply, not just as a public figure, but as a person. Because behind the fame, behind the headlines, behind the speculation, there's a woman who just wanted something real. And maybe that's the part that makes this story hit so hard, because it reminds people that even someone as strong, as talented, and as accomplished as Toni Braxton can still find herself in a situation where love doesn't feel as secure as it should. And that's something a lot of people can relate to. So where does that leave things now? Honestly, unclear. Because situations like this don't resolve themselves overnight. There are conversations that need to happen, decisions that need to be made, emotions that need to be processed. And whether Toni chooses to stay and work through it or decides that she's had enough, that's something only she can determine. But one thing is certain, this moment has changed the way people look at their relationship. It's no longer just a story about love or longevity. It's a story about choices, boundaries, and what someone is willing to accept. And maybe, just maybe, it's also a turning point. Because sometimes it takes a moment like this, a painful, public, undeniable moment, to force a person to really evaluate what they deserve. And if there's one thing people seem to agree on, it's this. Toni deserves peace. Whether that peace comes from fixing what's broken or finally walking away from it, that's a journey only she can take. But whatever she decides, one thing is clear. People are watching, not out of curiosity anymore, but out of concern. Because this isn't just about celebrity drama. This is about a woman who has given so much of herself to her career, to her family, to her relationships, and is now standing at a crossroads that feels all too familiar. And the real question isn't what happens next in the headlines, it's what happens next in her heart. Because at the end of the day, that's the part that matters most.